Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Finding Support session. I'm Maya Potter, the Events and Digital Community Officer at Target Ovarian Cancer. Today's session will be led by our supportive services team. During the session, myself, Rachel, Val, Sophia, and Gina will share more about the different ways you can access support through Target Ovarian Cancer's supportive services. We'll also hear from Linda at the end of the session, who will share her experience of finding support and how our supportive services have been helpful to her. The session is all about highlighting the different supportive services that we offer. Some of you might be aware of the services we have already, but some of the services you might not be aware of. They can be accessed by everyone affected by ovarian cancer, and you can access as many as you like. Our hope is that you'll come away with a better understanding of the options available to you and how to access the support you need when you need it. So I'm now going to hand over to Rachel to start the session.
Thanks, Maya. Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Rachel Munyai, and I'm Interim Deputy Director of Services here at Target Ovarian Cancer. I'm also a nurse by profession, so some of you on the call may have actually spoken to me previously on our nurse-led support line, and it's the nurse-led support line that I'm planning to talk to you about this afternoon. So the Target Ovarian Cancer Support Line is a free, confidential service that is accessible to anyone who is affected by ovarian cancer. We are usually open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m, but we are closed on bank holidays and weekends. Our support line is unique in that it is totally led and managed by specialist nurses, and this is really important to us as an organisation. We want those who contact our support line to know that they will always be in touch with a specialist nurse who has a huge amount of experience of caring for those affected by ovarian cancer. So this slide is about those specialist nurses. So as an introduction, in terms of who will answer your calls or emails if you do get in touch with the support line, there's my colleague Val, who's here on the call with us today, and we'll be speaking to you later about another one of our support services. There's myself, Rachel, and our colleague Anne. All three of us are experienced gynae cancer nurses who have worked in clinical nurse specialist roles within the NHS before joining Target Ovarian Cancer. We have collectively supported thousands of women who have experienced ovarian cancer, as well as their loved ones, families and friends. Whilst we've never walked in your shoes, we do understand the experiences that an ovarian cancer diagnosis brings. We understand the challenges of navigating the NHS system and the challenges of dealing with all the consequences. So why do people get in touch with our support line? Well, there are many reasons why people get in touch. We're a friendly listening ear for those people who want to talk about how they're feeling in a safe space. We all know that we try and protect our loved ones, and sometimes this means that we don't feel able to be totally honest about our fears and concerns. Quite often our callers appreciate being able to talk about their fears in a safe space with someone that they know won't be upset by them being totally honest about how they feel. We've had a few questions pre-submitted by participants in this session around coping with the emotional consequences of a diagnosis, including how to manage distress and how to cope with the anxiety and uncertainty that a diagnosis brings. We're here to support you with this. While there isn't a quick fix for these emotional difficulties, when you get in touch with us, we will listen, we'll make you feel heard, and we will suggest things that will help both in the short term, but also we can signpost you to services and things that will help in the longer term too. People also often call us if they aren't sure about something that they've been told in a medical appointment. We've all been in that situation where you sit in an appointment and you only hear the first few sentences that are spoken to you. And because of that, we quite often take calls from people who are in the car on their way home from that appointment who just want to check in about something that they've heard. We can support with all aspects of treatment and diagnosis, including information about clinical trials. We also get phone calls from people who have read about something online or in printed materials and who want to talk about the specifics of what that information actually means to their particular situation. And we can talk this through with you. We can find out where you're at and understand your experiences and help you to understand how that information applies to your situation. We obviously don't have access to your medical records, but what we can also do is help you to find the right questions to ask of your medical team when you next see them. The other scenario that we frequently encounter on the support line is one where the caller starts the conversation with, I'm not really sure why I'm calling you. And I can see that Val's smiling here because it is a really common opener to the conversation. This is okay as well. We're entirely comfortable with getting the conversation started for you and seeing where we end up. And usually we do end up in that place where you know exactly why you're calling and what we can do to support you. It's important to say that our support is available to you as and when you need it and as often as you need it. For some people that might call about symptoms, for example, they only need to use the support line on one occasion. For others, we have much longer term connections, and we will continue to support you for as long as you feel you need us. Last on this slide is to say that if you are thinking about the call in the support line, then please do. There is no such thing as a silly question. There is nothing too trivial. And if something's on your mind, please call and ask. The majority of the time we can help, but if we don't know the answer, we can usually find out or can signpost you to someone who can. So in terms of who calls the support line, at the start of my presentation, I mentioned that we're available to everyone affected by ovarian cancer through a range of experiences. We speak to people who are worried about the symptoms of ovarian cancer, those who are undergoing diagnostic tests, and we also speak with women who have recently had a diagnosis, are in first-line treatment or in follow-up after treatment, as well as those who have recurrent ovarian cancer. Importantly, we're here also for the family, friends and loved ones of those affected by ovarian cancer. We're very aware that a diagnosis within a family has a ripple effect. The consequences are felt by everybody around them. However, often the needs of family and friends are not addressed, which can leave them feeling alone, scared and unsure where to turn. We're here for family too. We want to hear from you. We want to listen to your fears and to answer any questions you may have. So there are a number of ways that you can get in touch with our support line. Often the best way is by phone. This way we can have a conversation in real time, and this gives the team an opportunity to ask any questions that we need to be able to support you better. However, we do know that it's not often easy to pick up the phone and call a complete stranger, and we understand this too. So if you'd rather, you can contact our team by email or by filling in the contact form on the website. If you want to, we can continue the conversation via email, but also we can always get in touch with you and we can get the conversation started for you. The link that appears when you scan the QR code on this screen will take you to the Support for You page, and that has details about how to contact our support line and all our other services. And the team will also share our contact details with you after the event. Thank you for listening, and I'll hand over to Maya.
Thank you, Rachel. So another area we want to talk to you about today is our digital support events. So our programme of digital support events is shaped by feedback from our community and offers you the chance to meet experts as well as others affected by ovarian cancer. The events are tailored so you can choose the type of support that suits you. Throughout the year, we run a series of Ask the Experts and wellbeing events like this one today over Zoom. Our Ask the Experts events aim to help you understand more about different aspects of ovarian cancer and provide the chance to ask your questions to leading healthcare experts. Joining us live allows you to connect with experts who you might not usually get the opportunity to hear from and to have your questions answered by them in real time. We have a range of speakers at these events, including oncologists, surgeons, geneticists, mental health practitioners, and clinical nurse specialists. Ask the Experts topics range from genetics and targeted treatments, managing symptoms and side effects, to getting the most out of your treatment, as well as updates on clinical trials and new treatments. Earlier this year, we were joined by Dr. Rowan Miller, who facilitated an excellent session on maintenance treatment. We were also able to deliver an expert-led session on palliative care and advanced care planning, which had been requested by our community. Our wellbeing events are also scheduled throughout the year, whether you're looking for practical advice, to connect with others who understand, or to take some time for yourself. We vary the topics to cover different areas of wellbeing. Joining these sessions over Zoom is a great way to interact with others affected by ovarian cancer, offering a space to support each other, swap tips, learn new techniques, and share experiences. Some of the wellbeing topics we've covered over the past year have included a creative writing session, an event on skin and nail care when going through treatment, and our annual Empower Hour, where we hear about the experiences of women within our community. These sessions aim to provide support to help improve your well-being when living with or supporting a loved one with ovarian cancer. We update our website with all our upcoming digital events. So if you are interested in attending future sessions, you can keep an eye out for new events on there. We also advertise our events within our online community and via Target Ovarian Cancer's social media pages. Our events are free to attend, and to sign up for a session, you just need to complete the short registration form on our website. You'll then receive all the information about the event and additional resources after the event via email. Our Ask the Experts and wellbeing events are recorded, so if you aren't able to attend live, would like to come back to them again later or share them with a loved one, you can watch them back at a time that suits you. Recordings are available on our YouTube channel. We have a playlist for our Ask the Experts and our wellbeing events. You can also find the recording links on our website and in the ovarian cancer community. We also run regular support events just for those with a diagnosis of ovarian cancer. These include our weekly yoga and relaxation class on Wednesdays and our bi-weekly tea and chat every other Tuesday over Zoom. Our yoga class is led by our instructor, Claire, who has experience in leading sessions for people with cancer. The classes cover both yoga movements and relaxation practices, which can help with overall well-being. The classes can help you to relax, cope with stress and anxiety, and get some gentle exercise. You can take part seated or standing, and Claire is also able to advise alternative movements as well. Everyone in the class is at different stages, and all yoga capabilities are welcome. I'm now going to hand over to Val, who will share some more information about our tea and chat sessions.
Thanks, Maya. So tea and chat, it is actually just as simple as it says on the label. It's grab a cup of tea and come and have a chat with us. It runs alternate Tuesdays on Zoom, and it's for an hour, 2 till 3. It's usually me that facilitates the group with one of my colleagues, either Gina or Soraya. So we get to know you and you get to know us. So I think that's a good thing. I hope you think it's a good thing. So just a little bit background about Tea and Chat. Where did it start? It actually started in the pandemic because everybody was sort of isolated, lonely, and anyone with a diagnosis was more vulnerable than most. So we had an idea to create a sort of meet your mates in a coffee shop type vibe. So with little planning, not much budget, and not much real idea of how it would go, we did our first tea and chat session. It was an immediate success, actually. Loads of women joined. Used to have a waiting list at one point. Loads of women joined. It was really lively and good fun, just what we wanted it to be. And lots of long-term and serious friendships have come out of tea and chat. Can't promise that, but I think people will testify to that. So let me just see what happens in a tea and chat session. As I've said, it's Zoom. Anyone with a diagnosis of ovarian cancer can attend tea and chat. There's no ongoing commitment. So if you come once, it doesn't mean that we come knocking at your door to find you the next time we have a session. People dip in and out. Some people come every week. Some people come every week for a while, and then, you know, they're busy doing other things. So it really is available as and when you want it and you need it. We do have a theme each session. Please don't ever be put off by this theme, because it's always very fluid. The conversation just flows, and we tend to go all over the place, and a lot of the time don't even touch the theme. So it's not a support group as such. So often isn't any talk about cancer, but everybody in that group has got a shared experience of a diagnosis. And as one woman put it at the last tea and chat, we were talking about people understanding, and she said, unless you've had a diagnosis, you can't get it. And I think that's so true. So something that we hear a lot of women saying is, I never meet anyone with the same cancer as me. So coming to Tea and Chat allows you to meet people with the same cancer as you that get it. And it is, for the most part, an hour of good fun, good chat. Anybody wants to bring anything serious? Yes, of course you can. And the women will, with understanding and kindness, we can discuss it. So my advice is, if you think you might fancy it, give it a go. Nothing lost. You might find it really enjoyable. And if you really don't fancy it, my advice is the same. Give it a go, give it a try. You might actually surprise yourself and find that it is enjoyable. Okay, I think that's all I've got to say about Tea and Chat. So I'd like to hand over to Sophia, please.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and I'm part of the health information team at Target Ovarian Cancer. Today, I'm going to give you an overview about the different types of information we have available on our website and also in print. So on our website, we have a lot of specific web pages tailored to different situations. You can find these under our About Ovarian Cancer. You can see there on the right. And under treatment, it says your situation. If you click on that, you get these 6 different buttons that cover information if you've been recently diagnosed, if you've had a recurrence, if your ovarian cancer is incurable, if you're a younger woman, if you're worried about symptoms, or if you're being followed up and monitored. And each of these have specific information that cover different treatment options, as well as practical and well-being advice. So we also have information for family and friends supporting a loved one with a diagnosis on our website. We know it's really important that they also look after their well-being. So we have a page that explores different support services that are available for them, as well as a top tips for looking after you page that we wrote after having conversations with family members and friends. And we also have interactive information tools on our website. So on the right there, you see our stages tool, which along the top there, you can click to specific stages and then to a specific substage of ovarian cancer, and it will update the diagram and the definition to kind of demonstrate what that substage means. You can find that by searching stages on our website, and we created it because we wanted to have something that was really clear and easy to use that would demonstrate the differences between substages. So yeah, alongside our information, we have information videos that you can find on our website or on our YouTube channel. These videos are made with both healthcare professionals and women with a diagnosis. So I thought I'd play a few minutes of a video we made earlier this year about scanxiety and what it is.
It's an overwhelming feeling of dread. Your chest pounds.
It's like having this grey cloud following behind you.
It's an all-pervading thought. It's in your head all the time.
Scanxiety is the very normal anticipation or worry of scan results or blood tests or any results for that matter. And it can be a really powerful phenomenon. It's very normal with ovarian cancer.
Hi, my name's Rose.
My name is Saba.
My name's Irene.
I have stage 4 high-grade ovarian cancer. I was diagnosed in March 2023.
Diagnosed in December 22 with high-grade stage 4 ovarian cancer.
And in March of 2022, I was diagnosed with stage 3C low-grade serous ovarian cancer.
So I don't know when you realise about scanxiety, but the first time I actually heard the word was through Target Ovarian.
Yeah, I mean, like you, I'd never even heard of scanxiety before cancer. It wasn't until I had had my surgery, and then it was, you know, those 3 monthly checks, that's when you'd go through this cycle of you'd be okay, you'd get your result, and then it would build up towards the next 3 months, the blood tests, the scans and all of that. This feeling was completely different. It was just so overwhelming, and it was on repeat, and the 3 monthly thing, having it so often, didn't make it any easier.
When people are either awaiting a diagnosis of ovarian cancer or going through treatment, what we tend to find is closer to when the results are arriving, it can be really an intense feeling. Some people present and they feel like they're losing it, basically, so they feel so overwhelmed, and they may never experience such intense feelings or emotions or thoughts before, particularly with ovarian cancer. When you're waiting results or the ongoing nature of the treatment, sometimes it can be really intense, and that's completely normal.
So that video is part of a series of 2 videos we made. The first one explores what scanxiety is, and the second one explores different strategies to help cope with scanxiety. So if you want to watch the rest of the video or read more about it, you can find it with that URL there at the bottom, or just search scanxiety on our website. So as well as digital information, we also send out hard copies of our guides. We have 6 guides that focus on different situations that range from, you know, a guide for those who are newly diagnosed to genetic testing guides and a guide about stomas. They go into quite a lot of depth and provide detailed information and support for each of those situations. And they are free to order and intended for anyone with ovarian cancer, as well as their family members and friends. We often hear from people that it's helpful to have a hard copy of the information so that they can refer back to it and also take it in at their own time. As well as those information guides, we have well-being guides that can be downloaded as PDFs from our websites. So they cover ovarian cancer and your finances, complementary therapies, ovarian cancer, sex and intimacy, and diet and nutrition. And just finally, how to order the guides. If you do want a printed guide or any of our information sheets, you can find them on that URL there. And it will just list out all the different information you can order from us. And then once you know what you want, on the right-hand side of the page, you'll see a gray box that says order guides. And if you click on that, you'll fill out a form with your details, like your address, and the information should be with you within 2 to 3 working days. So now I'm going to hand over to Gina.
Thank you, Sophia. So my name's Gina. I'm the online community and digital events manager here at Target. I'm also one of the admins for our online community groups, which is what I want to talk to you about today. So some of you joining the call might already be members of this group, so this might sound quite familiar, but for anyone who isn't, we just wanted to let you know about another way that you can get support with us at Target. So we have 2 private Facebook groups that we run. The first one is the Ovarian Cancer Community. So this group is open to everyone affected by ovarian cancer. So that can also include friends and family, for example, or maybe people that are worried about symptoms that they've been experiencing but haven't been diagnosed, but also open to those with a diagnosis as well. And then we have our In Touch Facebook group, which is just for those with a diagnosis of ovarian cancer. So both of these groups, as I mentioned, are on Facebook. They're completely free to join, and hopefully after today, you might want to join if you haven't already. So just a bit about the online community. So there are lots of different things that you can do in the group, and it's one of those things where it's kind of individual and up to you in terms of what you want to do within the online community. So there are lots of different things, such as being able to connect with others affected by ovarian cancer. So as Val mentioned earlier today, something we often hear is that it can be really difficult to meet other people with the same diagnosis as you, or that kind of share that same experience in terms of treatment and share top tips. So that's something that you can get from the online community. So you can connect with people no matter where you are in the UK. The online community is also available 24/7. So if it's late at night and you can't sleep and you just want to read a little bit more about ovarian cancer, or you want to hear about other people's experiences of certain treatments, for example, maybe you've got an appointment coming up and you just wanted to share, how you're feeling with the rest of the group, and that's something you can do in the online community. As I mentioned, you can also hear about other people's experiences. So some of the members, they might not quite want to get involved in the conversation themselves, but they just really want to hear about other people's experiences. So that's something that you could do in the online community too. Being a member also means that you can hear about our support events. So as Maya mentioned earlier in the session, we run a series of events here at Target, and we post all of those in the online community as well. So you can be some of the first to hear about those events and sign up for them. But we also add the recordings of the events in there as well. And it can often be a bit quicker than waiting for them to go up on YouTube. So it's a really great place if you're interested in watching those events back too. With In Touch, you can also sign up for the tea and chat sessions that Val talked about earlier today. So it's a really great way to find out about the sessions and sign up, but also to be able to connect with the other people that come along to those sessions. So if you come along for the first time and meet some of the other women in the group, you can actually connect with them after the sessions as well, and kind of keep talking outside of that session as well. So that's a really good thing to join In Touch for too. It's also really important to note that the support in the ovarian cancer community is for friends and family as well. We understand that it's really important that friends and family members can get support too, as you'll often, have a lot of the same questions or concerns, either when you're supporting a loved one, or also being able to get support for yourself as well. So you can do that by joining that online community. Something that you can also do is making friendships. So we've seen a lot of friendship formed as part of the group. So people have kind of met on the group and then gone on to meet up in person, which is always lovely. So quite often we'll see members posting pictures of them, when they've been able to get together in person, which is always really nice for us to see those friendships happening. But it's also important to note that you can interact as much or as little as you like. So we have some members that will join the group and they kind of want to take a bit of time before they're ready to share something or share a post of their own. So they might come along and just read other people's posts to get started with. But then we also have other members that will jump straight into the conversation and share a post, as soon as their membership request has been approved, which is also fine. So it's completely up to you how and when you want to get involved in the groups. Another thing just to mention is our Digital Champions project. So this is something that launched about a month ago now. So some members of our online community that kind of started joining the group initially to get support for themselves have now gone on to become volunteer moderators of the group. So myself and a few colleagues, we are admins of the group, so we keep an eye on the conversation and approve the membership requests that come in. But we've now also got a lovely team of volunteers that work with us too. So they help with that moderation, but also things like helping to spread the word about the online community so that we can reach more people too. So that's a really exciting thing that's just launched, and we're excited to see where that project goes over the coming months as we get a bit more into it. So these are just some of the lovely comments and some feedback that we've had from our members. So we often hear really lovely things. So I just wanted to share some of this feedback with you. So we've had a few comments about saying that people understand how you're feeling, feeling less alone as well. Not having to explain why you're worried or what everything means. And as we've kind of touched on throughout the session today, quite often, just being able to connect with people that really understand what you're going through. You don't have to explain everything. You can just go there and people just get it. You can share whatever's on your mind and know that other people are there to reassure you and support you, and quite often are going through the same thing. So although everyone's kind of got their own different circumstances and might be at different stages, because we have so many members of the group, quite often people can still, you share a lot of the same emotions with each other and have a lot of the same concerns and worries. So it's a really lovely place to be able to get support from other people that are going through exactly the same thing and know how you're feeling. And lastly, so as I mentioned, some of you might already be a member of the online community, but if you're not, then here's how you can join. So you can just search for the Facebook groups, either the Ovarian Cancer Community or In Touch. Just to highlight, if you have had a diagnosis yourself, you can join both groups if you want to. But you just search for the Facebook groups and then answer a few of the short entry questions that we have on there. As soon as your membership has been approved, you can get posting as soon as you like. But as I said, if you want to take your time, then please do. If you kind of just want to join and read a few posts to start off with, some people will join and leave and then come back, or kind of join and look for a few minutes and then come back a few weeks later as well. So it's entirely up to you how involved you want to get and when. If anyone would like to join but doesn't currently have a Facebook account, we can give you a bit of advice in terms of setting an account up. It's completely free to create one, and if you want to, you can literally create it just to join the group. That's absolutely fine. So just get in touch with us if you have any concerns about that at all. We can give you some advice. But we do also have a few members that will join using a loved one's Facebook account, so that's also fine as well. And yeah, I think that's kind of the main things. We will be sharing some information after the session today, including a leaflet. So if you're already a member of the communities, you can share that leaflet or just share the link to the Facebook group with anyone you think might be interested in joining as well. And once you're a member, you can get posting as soon as you like, or you can use the search function as well, if you want to search about particular topics and read about those too. So I think that is everything. So now I have the pleasure of handing over to Linda, who is one of our supporters, to share a bit about her experience of accessing support with us. So Linda, over to you if you're ready.
Thanks, Gina. Hi, everybody. Firstly, I'd like to thank Target Ovarian for giving me the opportunity to speak here. It really is my honour and privilege to share my experiences of the support services with you all today. So I'm Linda, and I was diagnosed in February 22 with stage 4 high-grade serous. And for me personally, the biggest support service that has helped me is the wonderful nurse-led support line. If anyone knows me, they know me. I'm a big fan of the support line. And I really think it takes quite a lot of courage for somebody to contact the support line and speak to somebody that they don't know about something that's so devastating. And I still remember very clearly first contacting the support line in January 22. I think it was the first week of the new year. Happy New Year to me. And it was prior to my confirmed diagnosis. And I was really in that difficult period of going through my investigations. I didn't have a definitive diagnosis, and I'd Googled myself, and I was in a bit of a black hole of despair and hopelessness, I think. So when I contacted the support line, I had no idea what to expect. And I think I was probably one of those people that phoned and said, I don't really know why I'm calling. But I was immediately put at ease by Val. And I knew from then that I was in a really safe pair of hands. And there was a 6-week window where all my investigations were taking place. So it was a really difficult time. I often call Val and we would talk through many things, and I was just made to feel so comfortable and at ease. And it's a really difficult period because, like I say, I didn't have a definitive diagnosis, so there was a lot of uncertainty and fear that came with that. And I was also a first-time mum to a beautiful 2-year-old, and I was often in floods of tears, and Val just rolled with my many different emotions. And I couldn't be like that with my friends and family, because I think, as Val or Rachel have mentioned, you kind of want to protect them. So to be able to express my feelings in this way really helped me. And once my diagnosis was confirmed, I contacted Val again, and then she helped me understand what to expect from surgery and chemotherapy. And I think it really helped prepare me better mentally for what was about to come. And during my recovery from surgery, I would still phone the support line. And whilst going through chemo, I would still phone the support line. And actually, it was just could be a call to see how I would, tell them how I was doing, or asking for words of advice. And actually, it was one of these calls that was about to change my treatment plan. And this was because Val educated me on the importance of a HRD test, which I think was quite new at that time. But my team, they were not going to test me. And because of my newly found knowledge, I think I felt empowered and I felt more confident about pushing for this test. And my team actually listened to me. And when the results came back, I was actually found to be HRD positive. So my treatment plan changed. But because of this, subsequently, the team offered this test to all newly diagnosed patients in my area. And I think that's something something that really affected me, because if I hadn't found the confidence and felt empowered to do that, then I might not have been on the treatment plan that I was on. So I've been speaking with Val and Rachel for just shy of 3 years now, and I feel like they've been with me through every step of the way, and I continue to talk to them because I think once you get through treatment, you still have your wobbles, and sometimes after treatment, it's even harder because now you're left with getting through treatment and what happens next. So I will call for a chat or advice and to share milestones that I've reached. When I've had scans coming up, I'll go through my anxiety, and also with that dreaded CO125 number, I would call and speak to them about that. And quite often they grounded me, I think, because your mind can go to all these places, so they really helped me. So I personally can't begin to express the gratitude that I feel for this wonderful support service that Target Ovarian offer. I was also part of the pilot My Next Steps course, which helps ladies who have finished treatment move forward with their lives. And I found this after chemotherapy stage really difficult to navigate because you're not the same person that you were prior to diagnosis. And this course covered so many different aspects. And it was just a great experience to share this with fellow ladies who just understood. And we all formed a really special bond from this. And I really hope the course continues to be successful because I feel it's a really unique offering for ladies who have had an ovarian cancer diagnosis. I also join Tea and Chat where I can. It's not as often as I would like because I'm back to work. And it's a really friendly group of fellow ovarian cancer ladies, and it is surprisingly upbeat. It's a group, like Val said, that get together every couple of weeks for an hour to have a cuppa and a chat. And I remember feeling really nervous when I first joined, but immediately I was welcomed. And it's lovely to get to know more women who walk a similar path to you, because I think, as mentioned, it can be quite isolating. You can feel quite lonely. And last month we had a face-to-face tea and chat at the Target office in London, and it was a lovely, lovely day. And some of us went on to have dinner afterwards. And I've met some really great ladies through this group. Previously to contacting Target Ovarian, I was relentlessly searching on Google, and it really didn't help me mentally. But one thing I am grateful for is finding the Target Ovarian contact details. I've accessed all the support services that I've spoken to about, but I've also read other ladies' stories, and at the time it really helped me to read these stories because you can relate to many of them, and it actually inspired me to share my own. I've watched their very informative videos and also read their literature, which is actually a much more reliable source than Google. I am a member of the online Facebook communities, but I'm not too much of an active member. And I think that's the beauty of it. You can be as active as you want to be. And it's not because I don't want to, I just don't have that much time. But what I love about it is that these groups they're so supportive, and you can be, like I say, you can be as active as you need to be. At the beginning, I used to dip in and out because I don't think I was ready to join at the time. But now when I do input, I try and offer hope and words of advice when I can to ladies who are new in their diagnosis. So I hope that it's given you some food for thought. And all I would say in closing is that if you're a person struggling with a diagnosis, or if you're a relative of a person going through this very difficult time and you need to speak to someone, then please consider the support line. It's confidential and run by ladies who really know their stuff. And not only that, you can tell they genuinely care. And I honestly don't think you'll regret calling. And what I also like about all the services that you can access them when they're there when you need them. And at first I would need a lot of support, but I've found as time goes on, I'm less in need, but I will still phone the support line just to have a chat and catch up. But I hope that, people find my story useful and that they can relate to it. And honestly, I'd really recommend the support line. And that's all I've got to say. So I hope that's okay. So I will just hand back to Maya.
Well, thank you, Linda. Thank you for sharing that with us, your experience with us. That was great. Please remember, if you do have any questions, concerns, or would like to have a chat, our support line is open from 9 AM until 5 PM Monday to Friday. So please call us on 020 7923 5475 to speak to one of our specialist nurses. So thank you again to Linda, the supportive services team, and all of you for joining us. We hope you found it helpful, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.